So ito yung group effort ninyo.
Yes,
pinagtulong-tulungan ninyo yung isang bahagyang chismis.
It was, ma'am, all of that is, again, the statement of the former president, not ours.
Okay, so walang kinalaman to. Pero para lamang sa kaprasong chismis, magtitipon-tipon pa yung mga sekretary ng kabinete. Nakakatuwa naman. Nagsalita po ang ating mahal na Secretary John Vic na ang nagplano po rito, o yung pagkaintindi namin, ang nagplano ay kayo.
I would like
Secretary Anyo, Secretary Gibo Chodoro, at ang pinangalan, ang Chief PNP, General Marbil. Parang apat yung pinangalanan sa isang interview ng ating Secretary ng DILG.
Can I answer that, ma'am?
Yes, please, you're recognized.
The question was, who planned this? I did not state in any way who planned it. The meeting was of executive privilege. It is a conversation between the president and the ones I mentioned. There were...
So what exactly did you say? Ano sinabi po ninyo? Pagkaintindi namin, itong apat na pinangalanan ang siyang nagplano.
Ma'am, we're already invoking executive privilege in this matter.
Yes.
We're invoking executive privileges.
Yes, it's fine, but it's in the interview. And it's
yes, ma'am. It goes as far as the interview, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I'd like to understand. I think your brother's trying to explain what he said in the interview, and I'm happy to hear.
They asked me if I planned it. I said it was not me. There were other people in the room, but we did not discuss any plans of any arrest.
Saan nanggaling yung mga pangalan na ito?
Ma'am, that again is executive privilege. Ma'am, let me explain first, ma'am. Yes, yes, ma'am. Let me explain first, ma'am. We were discussing rumors of an impending arrival based on...
Parang hindi yung ganun ang dating sa amin eh. Ang pagkaintindi namin,
that is the whole truth, ma'am. That is we were discussing rumors. Go ahead,
patugtog na lang natin para maintindihan, ha?
And who was really on top of this? Kayo ho ba? Because during the press conference, the president, it was you and the president.
Yes.
So ikaw ho ba nagplano ng lahat ng ito?
Hindi naman. It was a group effort. Secretary Chodoro was there, Secretary Anyo was there too, and the president and I. So, hindi naman ako. Ako lang ay stand by that, ma'am. Last man standing doon sa Malacanang. I stand by that. Kasi Secretary Chodoro was working out of this office.
Napakaliwanag po nung sinabi ninyo. Wala namang mapakiyaw-kiyaw doon sa sinabi.
Yes, ma'am.
Patayin na muna natin. Napakaliwanag naman ang sabi ninyo, hindi ako mag-isa kahit ako ang kasama ng presidente nung nagsalita sa press con, hindi ako mag-isa ang nagplano. Isang grupo kami. Tapos pinangalanan mo.
No, ma'am. I state, ma'am, again, executive privilege, but ma'am,
walang executive privilege kasi binunyag na nito sa TV. I must
state it very clear, as I stated very clear, that there was no mastermind. We were discussing mainly about what the president's statements were in Hong Kong, and it was based all on that statement, ma'am.
Sinabi ninyo na hindi kayo mag-isa na nagplano, kundi isang
there was no planning, ma'am.
Pero yun nasabi eh.
I said, hindi ako nagplano.
May isang grupo na nagplano.
We were all talking about a rumor, ma'am. And that was all.
Rumor lang yun?
Yes, ma'am.
Group effort ang sabi mo eh. Ang tanong niya kung ikaw ang nagplano, tapos sabi mo,
there was no planning,
group effort.
There was no planning, ma'am.
Ano yung in-effort ng group kapag hindi plano?
I think that including into executive privilege already, ma'am. I think that we respect our...
asking him to explain the media.
Yes, ma'am. But it's already a very thin dividing line between what transpires in a room between cabinet members and a media statement. But there's a very thin dividing line, ma'am.
Understood.
I hope that we can respect executive privilege.
Understood, and the Secretary Chodoro is fully aware. Every time there's a need to recess the executive session, I'm happy to do so, and I will do so when necessary. Pero ngayon, sinabi kasi sa TV, paliwanag naman ninyo sa atin kung ano ibig sabihin. Kasi ang sinabi, hindi ako mag-isa na nagplano, may grupo kami.
They asked me if I had planned it. Sabi ko, I did not plan it. I said we were there, and not to skirt, ma'am, executive privilege. It was mainly because of the statements of the former president in Hong Kong that he said, in his words, ma'am, in Hong Kong, that I think you have a clip. He said that ang reading ko ay may ICC warrant of arrest na. That is the best of my recollection, ma'am.
So anong pinag-group effortan? Anong
to discuss the rumor, ma'am.
Grupo na
pinag-alanan nyo? As far as I will invoke in executive privilege, there was no, you cannot plan on a rumor, ma'am.
Kaya nga, kaya nagtataka ako, bakit group effort? Chismis lang naman yun.
Chismis nga.
Kaya nga, kung chismis, bakit mag-group effort pa? Tapos pinangalanan pa lahat na
maraming marites ako doon to, ma'am.
Dabis naman yung marites, dami-daming marites.
It was a discussion of a rumor based on the statement of the president in Hong Kong.
Nakakatuwa lang dahil chismis lang pala eh. Bakit sesentensyahan yung tao sa base ng chismis?
It was a discussion of a rumor based on the statement of the president in Hong Kong.
So you deny that you're part and parcel of the planning and that the other persons you named, hindi rin sila kasali dun sa pagpaplano?
Again, ma'am, we were discussing the statement of the former president while he was in Hong Kong, that he said that there was he said, in his words, ang reading ko ay may warrant of arrest na ako. So that was the only basis of the conversation, ma'am.
So ito yung group effort ninyo?
Yes,
pinagtulong-tulungan ninyo yung isang bahagyang chismis?
It was, ma'am, all of that is, again, the statement of the former president, not ours.
Okay, so walang kinalaman to. Pero para lamang sa kaprasong chismis, magtitipon-tipon pa yung mga sekretary ng kabinete. Nakakatuwa naman.
Call it what you may, ma'am.
Walang magawa. Opo, anyway, nabanggit na paulit-ulit itong Interpol, ano? At nabanggit na ng SOJ. At alam naman natin, yes po. Yes, Secretary General. Kasi kasali kayo eh.
Alluded to, the Department of National Defense and the Armed Forces of the Philippines has no law enforcement mandate. Our sole mandate is to give support to the Philippine National Police when it is asked for. And therefore, such ends our jurisdiction. The operation is clearly a law enforcement one, and the Philippine National Police has the power to ask the armed forces to assist. And that is the extent of the participation of my department and the armed forces of the Philippines. And all other matters in supporting the Philippine National Police are covered by operational security.
Tama po. Kaya hindi talaga chismis lang to. Meron talagang natanggap. At sinabi rin sa isang interview, alas 3 ng umaga, natanggap na yung notice of arrest nung Martes, March 11. Sinabi naman ni Secretary Remulla na si PNP General Marbil nakatanggap ng notice of arrest warrant alas 3 ng umaga ng Martes at sinabihan ang Pangulo ng alas 6. Nabasa niya na sa alas 6 ng umaga. So ibig sabihin, hindi po chismis to. Meron ng notice of arrest warrant.
You're talking about 2 different days.
Okay.
March 10.
Sige, clarify po ninyo. Para maintindihan namin.
Was conjecture.
March 10, chismis pa lang yun.
Yes, ma'am.
Dala nung salita galing sa Hong Kong.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
March 11 was a formalized transmission.
Okay.
By the ICC towards Interpol. And that was the first knowledge that this administration had of the presence of a action by the ICC directed towards Interpol. And that was the only formal knowledge that we had.
So, andun lang. So, ang ibig sabihin, ang gobyerno hindi tumulong sa ICC sa application ng warrant. Nagulat kayo na dumating na lang yung dokumento.
Yes, ma'am.
Wala kayong kaalam-alam or paghihingi?
None whatsoever, ma'am.
None whatsoever. Ganun din yung SOJ, pati yung SND. Wala kayong balita, wala kayong hinikayat, wala kayong pakikiusap na ilabas na yan sa lalong madaling panahon.
Wala po ako rito noon eh. Nasa Vienna po ako. Nag-attend po ako ng United Nations meeting sa Drugs and Crime, UNODC.
Yung March 10 o yung 11 po?
Parehong araw po, wala po ako rito. Ngunit nakikipag-usap ako sa telepono at tinatanong ko yung nangyayari dito sapagkat ang Department of Justice ay involved syempre sa bawat proseso. At kinakausap ko po yung mga pwede kong kausapin tungkol dito.
Okay, so wala kayo dito pero kayo nag-anunsyo at lumabas sa balita na alas 3 ng umaga pa lang ng Martes andyan na yung notice of warrant.
It was me, ma'am. It was me.
Ibang repulya yun. Baka nakapagsis pati media.
It was me confirmed during the press conference of March, on Tuesday, March 11, I think, that when the president asked me on when the notice of diffusion arrived, and I stated it was 3 a.m.
Salamat. Okay. Si General Marbil, may dadagdag po kayo. Kayo daw ang nakatanggap eh.
Mama, natanggap ko po yun ay more or less after ng 3 o'clock. So, usually, ito po talagang ginagawa namin. Pagka meron pong request ang PCTC Interpol, we act po dun sa kanila po. Kung ano po yung request ng PCTC Interpol.
Maraming salamat, General Marbil. At Interpol ang binabanggit na natin ngayon. So, yung Interpol, ang Pilipinas ay isa sa founding member. Isa tayo sa nanguna sa pagtatatag ng Interpol noong 1952. Interpol's purpose is to facilitate cooperation and assist member nations. So, crime information sharing, investigative support, specialized training, transnational crimes in particular are the focus of this agency, and this comprise terrorism, cybercrime, organized crime, financial crime, and anti-corruption. And to ensure that it is not used for persecution, in its constitution, the Interpol has Article 3, providing that it's strictly forbidden for the organization to undertake any intervention or activities of a political, military, religious or racial character. So maliwanag yan sa Interpol, hindi sila manghihimasok sa politika at sa domestic affairs ng isang bansa. Ngayon, eto na yung press con ng ating Pangulo ng March 11 ng 2025 at sinabi niya, andito yata yan, it's a request of the Philippine government from Interpol. And to enforce the arrest warrant, and of course we comply with our commitments to Interpol. We did not do this because it was derived or it came from ICC, but rather from Interpol. Because they asked us, we have commitments to them, we live up to those commitments. I don't think we violated the country's sovereignty. Bakit naman? Dahil consistent naman tayo, hindi tayo tumutulong sa investigasyon ng ICC, wala tayong meron contact, pero not on an official level. We did not help them in any way. The arrest we did today was in compliance, ayan, mabasa ninyo, was in compliance with the commitment to Interpol at hindi yung ICC. Hindi natin kinakausap ang ICC, marami silang hinihingi sa atin ng mga dokumento, wala kaming binibigay, yun lamang, hindi natin mahindian ang Interpol. So kung may duda sa ating pakikibahagi sa ICC, ang sinasabi ng Pangulo, ang ating commitment, obligasyon sa Interpol ay maliwanag at walang duda. So, ang sinasabi natin, kailan ba natanggap ng gobyerno na yung ICC naglabas na ng warrant of arrest laban kay Presidente PRRD?
At alas 3 ng umaga. Yun ang pagkakaalam kong yan.
So, hindi...
March 11.
No inkling before, may marites lang.
Marites lang po. Marami hong... ilang taon na po yung sinasabi na may lalabas na warrant of arrest. Ngayon lang po talaga lumabas. March 11, alas 3 ng umaga.
So hanggang sa March 11 ng alas 3, na tulad na sinabi ni General Marbil, natanggap ninyo ng umaga, ay wala kayo ka-idea.
The only information we got was the words of the former president in Hong Kong.
Sa Hong Kong?
Sa Hong Kong, ma'am.
Na andyan na?
Yes, ma'am.
Siya pang nauna, hindi kayo?
Yes, ma'am.
Nakatuwa, no? Anyway, hindi ba March 8 pa lamang, marami na ring chismis na magkakaroon ng arrest warrant. In fact, the following day, mismo yung palasyo, Malacanang, sinabi na may mga haka-haka na ganun nga, lalabas na, and the government is prepared for any eventuality. Bakit nasabi yun? Kung wala pang hawak na notice or kopya, March 8 pa lang to, nagsalita na yung Malacanang. Ibig sabihin, andun na.
Ma'am, the government is prepared for any eventuality at all times. That is the nature of our job. We will always be prepared. We will always be on hand to enforce any of these laws, ma'am.
So it does not mean na yung executive o yung palasyo may nalalaman tungkol sa warrant of arrest.
No one knew, ma'am.
Walang may alam.
I repeat, ma'am, categorically, no one knew until 3 o'clock of March 11.
3 a.m.
Yes, ma'am.
Sa umaga. Noong March 9, ang ating USEC sa PCO sabi, if Interpol hihingi ng assistance galing sa gobyerno, tutulungan. So why was Interpol already being mentioned and being bandied about as early as March 8, March 9, kahit wala pang notice, wala pang red notice, wala miski ano?
Ma'am, maybe in context, sabi ko nga, marami ho naging pagkakataon na tumulong po Interpol sa atin, kaya hindi natin nalilimutan. Isang example po dyan ay yung paghuli po kay Alice Go sa Indonesia, at marami pa ho yung mga ibang pagkakataon na tumulong po Interpol sa atin.
Ba't alam na ng palasyo that Interpol will be involved if at that time there was no confirmation or receipt of any warrant? Bakit nagsasalita na ang palasyo, nagsasalita na yung PCO, sinasabi na huwag kayong mag-alala, handa tayo sa anumang mangyari, bakit nagre-reassure na? Ang
ano ko kasi yan,
parang pinapanap.
Ang mekanismo po kasi ng International Tribunal, katulad po ng ICC, ay lumapit po sa Interpol upang ipamahagi o upang iserve ang warrant kasi wala po sila sariling kapulisan ang ICC. So, kaya umaasa rin po sila sa Interpol.
Tama. So, ang executive, alam na ninyo na ang Interpol ang gagamitin. Hindi sa wala tayo.
Ano po yun logical lang po yun. It's logic that Interpol will be the one used as they were the ones used in the past already.
Alam naman natin na gagamitin ng Interpol, pero hindi naman laging Interpol ang ginagamit ng ICC.
Hindi ko po alam yung iba.
Ano natin na
alam ko lang po Interpol talaga.
Ang alam natin, iba-iba, di ba, sa history ng ICC. Kaya nagtataka ako, ba't ang aga-aga, March 8, alam na natin Interpol ang magbibigay ng warrant?
Marahil kasi ang Interpol, may opisina rin po sila sa, sa Paris tsaka sa Hague. Kaya nag-uusap-usap po lahat yan. Yung Eurojust, Europol, ICC, ICJ, isang lugar lang po yan sa The Hague.
Po, alam natin, pero iba-ibang pamamaraan ang ginagamit ng ICC para hulihin, takipin, at mag-serve ng warrant. So, ang sinasabi natin, siguro sina General Marbil, pagkat sila naman ang nakatanggap nito, walang contact or coordination sa ICC or Interpol bago March 11. Bago March 11, yung alas 3 ng umaga, na sinasabi po ninyo, talagang wala kayong ka-idea, walang notice, walang timbre, walang tawag, walang kaalam-alam ang Pilipinas tungkol dito.
Ma'am, can I answer that, ma'am?
Si General Marbil ang tinatanong po. Pwede kayong magdagdag, mamaya.
Ma'am, wala po kaming communication with the ICC except for the PCTs na po. We rely on the Philippine Center for Transnational Crime.
Teka, so kauna-unahang pagkaalam mo tungkol dito sa warrant mula sa Interpol, noong Marso 11, ika-11 ng Marso, tama ba?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Sigurado kayo,
Yes, Madam Chair.
Oo, okay. So, but you just said na it doesn't go to you directly. Sabi mo, dumadaan muna sa transnational crime. Pwede ba natin tanungin ang ating head ng transnational crime? Andito po si Executive Director Alcantara. Kayo ba ang una nakatanggap nitong galing sa Interpol?
Magandang umaga po, Madam Chair. Tama po yun. Ang NCB Manila ang tumanggap po at 3 o'clock in the morning nung diffusion na sinasabi na may warrant of arrest na po ang ating dating Pangulo at yun po ang ginamit namin, pinan-out namin
Tapos pinadala ninyo kaagad sa kapulisan?
Law enforcement agencies po ang pinadala natin, ang National Bureau of Investigation, ang Philippine National Police, ang Bureau of Immigration, at pinadalang ko rin po ang Department of Justice.
Okay, maraming salamat. At may dadagdag yata si Secretary John Vic.
Wala naman.
Okay, at was a red notice, itong tinatawag na red notice, iyon ba ang pinadala ng Interpol, Executive Director Alcantara? Kasi ang binanggit mo ngayon, diffusion.
Ang dumating po sa atin ay isang diffusion, isang commonly tinatawag na red diffusion.
Teka, ang pagkaalam ko, iba ang notice at iba ang diffusion. Iklaro po ninyo, ano na natanggap?
Ipapaliwanag ko po, ang red notice po ay a request for international police cooperation that has been applied for by a member country or entity that are distributed to every member of the organization.
Opo, alam natin yun.
Okay.
Pero ang sabi kanina, red notice ang natanggap. Ngayon ang sinasabi mo, hindi red notice, kundi diffusion lamang.
Tama po.
Alin ba talaga?
Diffusion po.
Walang red notice.
Nagkakaroon po ang general public or everybody ng...
pero alam natin na hindi magkapareho yun.
It's equivalent po to a red notice.
Hindi po. Mas
Red,
alam ninyo ito sa akin. Ang diffusion po hindi red notice. Tignan natin ang website.
Ang diffusion po is a request for international police cooperation that is coming from an entity or another member country that is directed to another member country.
Tama, oo.
Yung po pagkakaiba.
Sa member to member,
Opo.
it's an unverified report requesting for information, humihingi lang, makikipakilang sa kapwa member na kung maaari, tulungan ninyo kami. Pero hindi siya verified, hindi siya dumadaan sa kanilang commissioner, hindi siya pinopost sa website katulad ng red notice. Tama po ba?
It went through the police of the organization's police database. Pumasok din po yun sa database.
Pumasok sa database pero unverified. Maliwanag siya, di ba?
Pinawagin po na...
So, hindi po red notice ang natanggap, tama?
Diffusion po. Red
diffusion.
And more technical po, it's a wanted person diffusion.
Tama.
More technical.
So, walang red notice. Kapag walang pag-diffusion lang, ang pagkaintindi natin, humingi lang ng impormasyon, di ba?
Hindi po. Meron po tinatawag na red diffusion, blue diffusion.
Oo, maraming kulay yun eh.
Yung sinasabi po niya na humihingi lang ng impormasyon is blue diffusion.
Okay, may kulay ba ito? Yung pinadala sa atin, anong kulay ng diffusion?
Ito po ay wanted person diffusion.
So, walang red notice?
Hindi po siya red notice.
Nakatanggap pa tayo ng red notice at any point?
Itong pong wanted person diffusion na to, pagpasok po sa Interpol sa Lyon, pa-process po ng notices and diffusion.
Opo, alam po natin yon. Alam natin yung procedure. Madalas po natin ginawa yan eh.
Kasunod po nun, mag-i-issue sila ng red notice. But this time, dahil po may urgency, they decided that it will go through by...
So, lumundag na tayo mula sa diffusion, hindi man lang na-confirm, hindi man lang napagtibayan, hindi man lang nadaan sa commissioner nila, hindi man lang nailagay sa website o naging opisyal, lumundag na po tayo. Sa diffusion pa lang yan, no? Hindi, kasi inaamin ninyo, wala namang red notice kailanman.
It is our job to find it out immediately, disseminate immediately, because the nature of the diffusion is...
bakit si Congressman Arnie Teves may red notice na hindi pa natin nagagawa ng paraan?
Hindi ko po masabi.
Yung kay Arnie Teves, kaya ho siya nahuli sa East Timor ay dahil sa red notice. Yun ang dahilan.
Oo, klaro po yun, yung red notice. Kaya nga, ang pagkaintindi namin, red notice din ang sinasabi. Ngayon, lumalabas na wala kailanman na lumabas na red notice mula sa Interpol, kundi diffusion lamang.
Baka dahil sa panahon, kasi mabilis po ang pagganap ng lahat, yung mga pangyayari. Mabilis po nangyari. Kaya marahil, sa ordinaryong pagkakataon, nandiyan po ang red notice. Mura dito, wala akong pagkakataon marahil.
Madam Chair, gusto
So,
ko...
ibig sabihin, ang katotohanan, walang red notice. Mag-ingat po kayo, you're under oath, makukontact po tayo. Dahil pagbibigyan natin, kasi sabi, red notice, yung pala, hindi red notice, nasa diffusion na po. There was no red notice and what was issued was merely a diffusion. Pakita po natin, may pagkakaiba yan, matindi. So, itong diffusion, hindi yan pinagtitibay ng Interpol Secretariat. Hindi dumaan sa Commissioner. Tama po ba?
Meron po silang, meron pong disclaimer to say that it did not go to a review of the notices and task force diffusion. So nag-mobilize ang pamahalaan ng libo-libo, 7,000 ang pinagmalaki ng kapulisan para sa isang request for information ng Interpol na unverified. Pinahihingi lang. Walang sinasabing nagmamadali. Pero lahat ng government resources pinaandar na dahil sa simpleng request sa kapwa membro. Tama po? Ang iko-correct ko po ay hindi information ang hinihingi po. It is a wanted person notice, diffusion notice. Diffusion.
Diffusion notice.
Wanted person po ang nandoon.
Okay, pakita natin. Medyo maliit ang letra, pero basahin natin. Pwede bang palakihin para mabasa na maigi pa? Okay. So, maliwanag, tama po na dumating ng 3:04 ba to?
Correct po. Tama.
Ng umaga, Arian. Maliwanag. Tapos, ang request dito, after prior consultation with the government of the Philippines. So, hindi totoo na March 11, 3 a.m. lang ninyo nalaman. Kasi nakasabi dito, sa page 1, after prior consultation with the government of the Philippines who have agreed to comply with this request. Ibig sabihin, ang pamahalaan ay nakausap na, una, ikalawa, sumang-ayon na. So, ibig sabihin, ito, formal transmittal lang. Walang sinasabi dito na biglaan ito. Kaya nga, March 10 pa lang, 7,000 ng pulis na ang minobilize eh. Bakit sinasabing ganito?
Yung sinasabi po nyo na...
Hindi, binabasa ko lang ito eh.
Opo. Ang matatanong po natin dyan ay yung nagpadala po nung... yung nag-apply po, ICC. Sila po naglagay niyan eh. Hindi po tayo.
Ibig ko nagsisinungaling ang Interpol?
Hindi po Interpol ang nagsisinungaling. Yung gumawa...
pero ang Interpol ang sinasabi ninyo eh. Sabi nila dito eh, itong diffusion ng Interpol, pagkatapos ng konsultahan sa pamahalaan. Tapos sinasabi pa rito na hugas kamay ang Interpol at hindi pa sila gumagawa ng compliance review. Hindi pa nila naimbestigahan, hindi pa nila napapatunayan itong diffusion. At kung may duda, sabihan na lang sila kasi hindi pa daw nila naasikaso.
Yan yung sinusunod nilang format, ma'am. Hindi mo lahat na sinasabi dyan ay gano'n na lang po ang katotohanan kasi nag-iingat lang po sila na makatabi sila na mali. Kaya marami ho silang paniguradong mga salita sa kanilang form letter. Form letter po yan eh.
Sasabihin nila na
nagaya ho niya, nung sinabi na pagkatapos makipag-ugnay sa gobyerno ng Republika ng Pilipinas, ang palaisipan ko po, sino ang kausap dito? Dahil hindi naman po kami ang kausap.
Sinasabi ninyo, palusot lang to, hindi to totoo.
Hindi po, yung form letter.
Maniniwala sa Interpol?
Yun po yung kanilang form letter. Kaya, hindi ko alam talaga kung sino kausap. Pero may sinasabi po dyan na meron silang kausap. Pero ako, wala akong kaalaman.
Baka alam ng kapulisan, sino ang kausap, baka alam ni Secretary Anyo. Ang liwa-liwanag dito, hindi naman ako nagchichismis o nagkahaka-haka. Ang liwanag eh, nakausap na daw yung gobyerno at sumang-ayon na daw ang gobyerno na arestuhin. Paano ba to? At ito daw ay formal transmittal lamang. Ibig sabihin, nauna yun. Andiyan eh, ang liwanag oh. Anybody wish to comment? Secretary Anyo, please. General Marbil, bakit may prior consultation and assent? Bakit sumang-ayon ng mas maaga?
Madam Chair, I'm not aware of any coordination of that, and I only learned of this diffusion and warrant for arrest in the morning of March 11. So, yun ang...
So, lahat kayo, March 11, 3 a.m. O 3:04. Ito yata dito. Tama naman yun. Pero, Executive Director Alcantara, form letter ba to? Medyo specific to prior consultations with the government of the Philippines. Hindi siya form letter
I cannot
nakakita na rin kami. Nakakita na rin kami ng ganito.
It looks like a form letter.
Form letter?
It
What
looks
agreed
like
to comply?
It's a genuine letter from the Interpol that came from the Interpol.
Tama. Verified naman to.
Opo.
Kaso nga lang, unang-una, diffusion lang siya. No such thing as red notice was ever received. Sabi mo, dahil sa kailangan i-expedite. Ikalawa, tinatanggi ninyo na merong prior consultation dito at saka acquiescence or agreement.
Hindi ko po masagot yung prior consultation. Ang masasagot
wala,
ko
nandito lang. Ba't nila isusulat yan kung dito to? Okay, basahin pa rin natin. Andito tayo, no? Ayan, si Senator Cayetano, maraming nakikita yata Tapos sa page 2, no? Gusto ko lang matignan to, no? Kasi ang liwanag po nito Ang sabi dito, basahin po natin yung page 2, ano? Ayan. The ICC has been mandated to investigate crimes against humanity. Pakitignan na lang po ang sumunod. Sige, itaas pa po yan. Indirect co-perpetrator. So, ibig sabihin, hindi siya principal, indirect pa.
Parang ganun po yung understanding.
Sino yung direct? Saan na yung direct? Ba't hindi inuna? Pangkaraniwan ba to na hinuhuli muna yung indirect kaysa sa direct? Form lettering ba to?
Iba ho kasi ang legal language na ginagamit ng iba't ibang bansa sa kanilang pagbibigay ng communication.
Tama po. Siyempre, iba-iba yan. At saka translated to in many languages.
Opo.
Pero yung indirect, sa palagay ko, kahit Frances man yan or High German, Swiss, ganyan pa rin indirect. Hindi siya principal.
Hindi kasi yung legal system po depende ho sa kanilang pagkasulat ng kanilang mga batas. Kasi kagaya ho sa atin, conspiracy po ang tawag natin dyan sa ating bansa. Co-conspirator po ang tawag sa isang taong participate sa isang krimen.
Ito, co-perpetrator.
Yun nga ho yun. Marahil yun po yung definition niya ay lumalapit po sa ating definition na conspiracy sa ating bansa. So yun po yun. Marahil lagay natin sa konteksto na yun po ang kanilang lingwahe sa kanilang batas, sistema ng batas. Iba ho ang lingwahe natin dito.
Naku, kahit in Frances yan, yung indirect, hindi direct, di po ba?
Ganun din naman sa conspiracy
kaya nga nagtataka lahat. Bakit siya unang hinuli? Bakit siya dinampot bigla? Hindi naman pala siya yung bida. Hindi naman siya yung kontrabida.
Pero sinabi mo na co-perpetrator.
Tama, pero
kasabwat. Sinabi mo dyan kasabwat.
Okay. Ngayon, tignan natin. Action to be taken. Locate and arrest with a view to extradition. Assurances are given extradition will be sought upon arrest of the person in conformity with national laws or the applicable bilateral and multilateral treaties. Ibig sabihin, hindi yung kidnapping or yung extraordinary
kidnapping. Wala akong nangyaring kidnapping, ma'am.
Pero may extradition ba?
Hindi, meron ko dalawang option yan
Ang haba
ng international humanitarian law gives us two options.
Walang nakasulat.
There are two options under international humanitarian law. The first option is extradition. No, I have to explain the law, ma'am. The international humanitarian law gives us two options: extradition or surrender. And we chose the surrender path, ma'am. Not extradition.
So despite the myriad and ironclad commitments to Interpol, hindi tayo sumunod dito sa hinihingi.
Hindi mo sila familiar sa system natin.
Ang hinihingi nila, extradition, hindi surrender. Di po ba? Ang liwanag
Iyan po ay kanilang sinasabi kasi iyan pa ang customary law sa maraming bansa na extradition.
Kanina sinabi mo, customary law, yung procedural at administrative, hindi din
Pero yun nga hindi nila alam yung ating batas Hindi mo nila alam na meron tayong Republic Act 9851 na nagsasabi pwede extradition o pwede surrender. Ang pinili po namin executive action po, surrender po.
Tapusin muna natin yung sentence kasi meron pang karugtong. Extradition will be sought upon arrest of the person in conformity with national laws. Susunod tayo sa 9851.
Yes, sinunod dyan, 9851. And hindi extradition ang aming ginamit, kundi surrender.
Teka, meron tayong iko-konsulta, Attorney Alexis Medina, sumulat ng iba't ibang libro tungkol sa international law at sabi niya, hindi tumbok sa extradition o surrender. Hindi sila pareho. Kaya kinakailangan intindihin. Eto, na extradition, kaliwa-liwanag sa batas natin. Senator Cayetano, and thereafter we will consult Attorney Medina.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. I'll ask my questions mamaya po kasi may konti akong introduction why. Just to follow your point, was there or was there not cooperation here? On page 2 din kasi nakalagay din, assurances are given that extradition will be sought upon the arrest of the person in conformity with national laws and or application bilateral and multilateral treaties. Tapos person, this request is treated as a formal request for provisional arrest in conformity with national laws. So, yun lang ang question ko kasi dun sa una sabi hindi sila sumulat, hindi nyo alam kung sino nag-cooperate. Of course, I'll take your answers at face value and presumption of regularity unless it's inconsistent. So, dito lang sa action taken, so dito sa page 2, sinong nagbigay ng assurances? Tapos, nung na-receive natin to na this is to be taken as a formal request, did we take this as a formal request? I'll stop there just so that before we move to the treaty and tama ba yung surrender? Just want, factually lang. So did, to our knowledge, Secretary?
Form letter nga ho yan ng ICC. Yeah. Expectation po nila, walang ibang option kundi extradition. Pero hindi ho ganun ang bating batas eh. Our local law, Republic Act 1951, allows us an executive option.
Thank you.
So to your knowledge, SOJ, ma'am, para lang hindi malito ha, kasi dalawa yung Secretary Rimulya. May I call you SOJ and may I call you SILG, just so that walang confusion. So sir, so to your knowledge, yung sinasabi nilang sa kabilang page at saka sa page na to na assurances were given, to your knowledge, that wasn't from the Philippine government.
Ano po yan eh? Ang sinasabi po nila dyan, makakasiguro kayo na hihingi namin sa extradition ang taong yan na aming ginawang wanted.
But is that Interpol so did Interpol assure that?
Ano ito eh, diffusion notice is not given to, pagkaya na red notice buong mundo ho, nakukuha yan, itong diffusion notice limited to a few countries. And then, distinction.
And then sino po ang empowered to give them assurances that we will? Or is it standard?
Sila ho, standard, kaya form letter po nila yan eh.
Okay.
Form letter nila yan.
But when they say that there was assurances from us, is that a general assurance because we're member of Interpol or meron nagsabi sa atin that we assure you?
They was assuring us that they will seek the extradition. Okay. Sila po nag-assure sa atin.
Okay, gusto ko lang tapusin to, no? At sumunod kay Senator Cayetano. Yung sumunod na sentence, basahin po ninyo. The request is to be treated as a formal request for provisional arrest. Ibig sabihin provisional, in conformity with national laws. So ang liwanag po, hindi yun ang nangyari kasi hindi naman provisional arrest, dinala na dun sa dahig. At saka in conformity with national laws, kapag yung Article 17 po ng RA 9851, hindi naman siya sumunod.
Ang provisional arrest po is only for extradition. Hindi po kasi extradition ang route natin.
Okay, pero natapos na tayo sa extradition, pinag-usapan na ni Senator Cayetano. Ang request lang dito, provisional arrest.
Kaya nga ho eh, ginagamit po yung
provisional
term.
Pala?
Ginagamit pong term na provisional arrest in conjunction with extradition. Eh hindi po extradition ang ating pinagdaanan dito.
Okay, nais kong tawagin ang ating eksperto dito, si Professor Alexis Medina, na nagpapaliwanag na yung surrender ay naiiba sa extradition at maliwanag yon sa lahat. Kaya't I'd like to recognize Attorney Alexis Medina po. You've written extensively on the distinction and application of surrender versus extradition. Ano ang nangyari kay Presidente Duterte? Surrender ba yan or extradition?
Thank you for the invitation, Honorable Madam Chair. Good afternoon, everyone, the Cabinet Secretaries and distinguished members of the Executive Branch. Okay. Also, Senator Cayetano, good afternoon, Senator Bongo, Senator Jingo Estrada. Going back to the question, there was the proposition that the immediate surrender of the person arrested to the jurisdiction of a foreign government or foreign state or international tribunal can be undertaken without judicial proceedings under 9851 Section 17. I respect the opinion of our hardworking and brilliant Secretary of Justice, but nevertheless I respectfully disagree. Surrender without judicial proceedings might amount to a violation of the liberty of abode that is guaranteed by Section 6 of the Bill of Rights. The liberty of abode cannot be impaired without a lawful order of the court. That's the text of the Constitution. Now, this constitutional protection is a barrier for any government action that would simply compel an individual to change his residence. So to compel a person, to expel a person from his country of residence without a lawful court order by excluding the judicial process might amount to a violation of the liberty of abode. Now, surrender as an option under Section 17 is applicable only in very narrow situations. One is when the person to be arrested has already voluntarily surrendered to the custody of the national government, in which case that negates the necessity of the extradition process. The other option is when the person to be arrested is actually an alien, in which case there's no need to go through the extrajudicial process. It's only a deportation process which does not involve a court proceedings. So in those two instances, surrender without court proceedings would be possible. Other than those proceedings, it would be very difficult to maintain that is sanctioned by the Constitution.
So ang sinasabi po ninyo, dalawa lang pagkakataon na pwede mag-surrender. Kung yung mismong akusado at arestado ang nagsusumite sa pamahalaan, yun, pwede yun.
Yes,
kung saan niya yun.
Yes.
Ikalawa, kapag banyaga,
yes, po.
Di naman Pilipino,
yes, po.
Deport, executive action yun.
Yes, po.
Mabilis, walang kailangan na korte-korte.
Yes, po.
So yun lang, wala na pong ibang exception, wala na pong ibang sitwasyon kung saan pwedeng surrender. Kasi pinagpipilitan na sinurrender, sinuko ang Pangulong Duterte ng pamahalaan sa Interpol. Yun ang pagkaintindi ko sa sinasabi kanina. Sinasabi ninyo, hindi po pwede yun. Dalawang pagkakataon lang ang po pwede isuko ang isang Pilipino. Yung isa pa nga, hindi sa Pilipino. Attorney Medina po.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I stand by my statement. There may be possibilities that surrender can happen in other situations, but certainly surrender of a person necessarily requires the lawful order of the court. And this requirement is consistent with the policy of the Constitution that whenever there's a deprivation of liberty, court intervention, judicial proceedings, judicial process is a requirement because the right to liberty is placed in an exalted status in our constitutional system. Hindi po pwedeng, the Constitution does not contemplate exclusion of the court process in depriving a person of his right to liberty.
Kung hindi pwedeng isuko ang isang Pilipino na hindi pumapayag, hindi naman voluntary. Ang ibig mo sabihin, ang iba pang pagkakataon, extradition na.
Yes.
That's the only legal process to enforce surrender to the ICC. I-extradite na kapag Pilipino ka. Tama po ba?
I agree, Madam Chair. Thank you. And extradition is a judicial proceedings. It involves judicial proceedings po.
Okay. At maliwanag din dito, maski yung Interpol mismo, sinasaad na kinakailangan provisional arrest, extradition to be applied for in conformity with national laws. Sinasabi nga sa ating konstitusyon, sa ating Korte Suprema lamang at sa mga iba't iba pang korte. Kasama pa ba yung korte sa ICC?
If I may comment, Your Honor, can I give the context for my statements?
Yes, please.
Yeah, okay. My apologies, I had to answer the question directly. I was invited on the basis of a post I made online, a legal opinion on the arrest of the former president. I'd like
and also your qualifications as an international lawyer.
No, actually I'm a teacher of constitutional law. I taught at San Sebastian College, Recoletos, Manila, the Polytechnic University of Manila, and the New Era University. I also give lectures for bar review examiners. Okay. Well, when I posted a legal opinion on the arrest of the president, to my surprise, it gained public traction. And my objective in posting that is really for academic discourse, not for any legal or political advocacy. I'd like to make it clear to everyone in the room, I am not here as a partisan. Okay, I am not involved in any political activity. My views that I posted are from the detached perspective of an academic.
Full disclosure po, I've never met you before.
Yeah, opo.
I've only read you. Thank you.
Thank you po. And to be honest po, 2016. I did not even vote for the former president. I was counsel for Grace Poe. Okay, so Senator Grace Poe. So my view that the arrest and detention and expulsion of the former president may have infringed several constitutional guarantees in favor of the former president. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Attorney Medina.